The lie they sold you. They told you since childhood. Be useful. Be the helpful one. Be kind. Be generous. And you believed it. You thought being useful would make you safe, that it would make people love you, that it would earn you respect. But here's the brutal truth. Useful tools are used until they're no longer needed. Then they're discarded. History is littered with the corpses of the useful. Loyal advisors bled for kings, only to be executed once their role was finished. Soldiers who fought with honor, only to be abandoned when the war ended. Friends who sacrificed everything, only to be ghosted the moment their utility ran dry. The world doesn't reward usefulness. It rewards power, and power doesn't come from being harmless. It comes from becoming something else, something darker, something people fear to betray. This is why monsters win. Not fairy tale monsters with claws and fangs, but human monsters. The ones who abandon the illusion of being useful and chose instead to be dangerous, to be untouchable, to live by rules most people are too afraid to even whisper. This video is not about becoming better. It's about becoming unbreakable. It's not about being loved. It's about being feared, respected, impossible to destroy. So if you've ever been discarded, betrayed, used up, and thrown away, this is your wake-up call. Because from now on, you stop being useful. You become a monster. Lesson 1. Chaos isn't random. Monsters thrive in the flood. Most people pray for stability. They build their entire identity on routines, on comfort, on predictability. And then when chaos hits, betrayal, loss, disaster, they're shattered. Machiavelli called this force Fortuna, chaos. The flood that sweeps away everything you thought was secure. Most men drown in it. But monsters, they don't just survive the flood, they ride it. Think of the river in flood season. The weak villagers who build close to the water are destroyed. But the clever ones build dams, redirect the current, harness the power. That's what monsters do with chaos. They don't cry that life is unfair. They don't call it bad luck. They study the pattern. They prepare when the river is calm, and when the flood hits, they don't beg for mercy. They use the destruction as a weapon. The useful man says, I hope the storm never comes. The monster says, let the storm come. I'll build my empire from the wreckage. Declaration. I don't pray to survive the storm. I become the storm. Lesson 2. Appearances rule. Monsters master illusion. Here's a secret that destroys the naive. People don't care about truth. They care about appearances. Machiavelli wrote, men judge more by the eye than by the hand. Translation. People believe what they see, not what is real. The useful man thinks sincerity is enough. He shows his heart, his loyalty, his devotion, and then is shocked when he's betrayed. The monster understands perception. He engineers it. He seems merciful when needed, faithful when watched, religious when it gains him allies. He projects the mask that disarms suspicion. But behind that mask, he calculates, he plots, he waits. This isn't hypocrisy. It's strategy. Because by the time people realize what you truly are, it's too late. The monster has already won. Declaration. They see what I allow. They believe what I design. Lesson 3. Dual nature. The lion and the fox. Every weak man is predictable. Some are always kind, some are always aggressive, some are always trusting. That's why they lose. Machiavelli said power requires two natures, the lion and the fox. The lion uses overwhelming force. When someone crosses your line, you strike swiftly without hesitation. One decisive action teaches 100 lessons, but lions alone fall into traps. That's why you must also be the fox. The fox sees deception, anticipates betrayal, spots the trap before stepping in it. The monster isn't trapped in one mode, he adapts. He strikes as lion when force is needed. He shifts to fox when deception is required. Predictable men get destroyed. Adaptable monsters survive everything. Declaration. I am the lion that strikes, and the fox that vanishes. Lesson 4. Well-used cruelty. Strike once, end it forever. Here's where most useful men fail. They think kindness will save them. They avoid confrontation. And when they finally act, they do it halfway. They punish a little, but not enough. They forgive too quickly. They leave doors open for the snake to slither back in. That is weak cruelty. And weak cruelty creates more enemies than it eliminates. Machiavelli praised Cesare Borgia's masterpiece. He unleashed a brutal lieutenant to crush rebellion, then executed that lieutenant in public, making himself look just while eliminating all threats. Swift, decisive, final. That's well-used cruelty. When you cut completely. When you end something, you end it beyond revival. No mixed signals, no second chances. The monster isn't cruel for pleasure. He is cruel for clarity. One act of ruthless decisiveness prevents 1,000 future betrayals. Declaration: I strike once. The lesson lasts forever. Lesson 5. The human algorithm. Exploit. Don't expect. Here's Machiavelli's darkest discovery. Humans are fickle, ungrateful, selfish, cowardly. The useful man expects loyalty. He gives endlessly, assuming it will return to him. And every time he's betrayed, disappointed, abandoned. The monster expects nothing. He knows the code. People act in self-interest. Gratitude fades. Promises break. Fear and cost control behavior better than love and hope ever will. So he designs systems that exploit this nature instead of fighting it. He ensures that betraying him is more dangerous than staying loyal. He doesn't build on love. He builds on leverage. Declaration: I don't hate their nature. I exploit it. Lesson 6. Pain is data. Scars as intelligence. The useful man sees betrayal as tragedy. He wastes years in bitterness, replaying the wound. The monster sees betrayal as intelligence. Every scar is a lesson. Every disappointment reveals a weakness in his defenses. Every failure is data. That friend who abandoned you, he just taught you that one-sided loyalty is worthless. That opportunity you missed, it revealed the cost of hesitation. The monster builds his warning system out of scars. He doesn't just survive pain, he weaponizes it. Declaration: every betrayal is a lesson. Every lesson is power. Lesson 7. The fortress mind. Boundaries as power. The weak think protection means hiding, isolating, building walls out of fear. But isolation isn't strength, it's weakness. The monster's mind is his fortress. His standards are his walls. He doesn't let everyone in. He doesn't explain his boundaries. He enforces them silently, ruthlessly. Toxic people are eliminated. Manipulators are cut off. Energy vampires are starved. Not with drama, with distance. Quality people respect it. The weak resent it. Either way, the fortress stands. Declaration: my mind is sovereign territory. Trespassers are eliminated. Lesson 8. Presence. Commanding without speaking. Ever walk into a room and feel the air shift? That's presence. Weak men beg for attention. They overshare, overtalk, overcompensate. Their desperation bleeds out. Monsters don't chase. Their silence has gravity. Their scarcity creates value. Their calmness makes others nervous. Machiavelli wrote, rulers must appear strong, even when they are not. The monster refines this into energy. He doesn't perform, he embodies. When he walks in, people sense something. They don't know what, but they adjust. That's power without words. Declaration: I don't enter rooms, I transform them. The final transformation. So here's what you've built. The ability to ride chaos instead of drowning in it. The mastery of appearances, engineering perception as weapon. The dual nature of lion and fox, force and cunning. The precision of well-used cruelty. The cold clarity of human nature exploited, not trusted. The scars that became your intelligence system. The fortress mind that filters your world. The presence that commands without asking. You're no longer useful. You're no longer disposable. You are not the servant. You are not the tool. You are the monster, and monsters win. Final declaration: I am no longer useful. I am dangerous. I am the monster they fear.